Hi friends, welcome to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Katelyn and I like to film eyeshadow palette, ranking, and review videos, as well as the occasional other beauty content sprinkled in. So if you like indie makeup, if you like eyeshadow palettes, if you like any sort of beauty content, I highly recommend that you hit that subscribe button because I post 2 videos every single week. And for those of you that are not new here, my face is happy that you are seeing it again, and I am very excited about today's video. We are going to be doing 3 looks with the new Ensley Cosmetics Flower Moon palette. I initially intended this palette, to get this video up the same week that I got this palette. TBD on that, because both my Viseart and my Melt palettes are coming, so this might go up a little bit later. But let's take a look at this palette. Look at how gorgeous these shimmers are. Like, this color story is so pretty and just is giving me like all of the like spring summer flower vibes. So I'm really into it. I'm excited to do looks with this. So yeah, if you want to see me create 3 looks using this palette, then you should go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, I think I've mentioned this in a video before, but this chair that I sit in, it like just like, I don't know if it's getting captured on camera, but this chair's like constantly shifting like this way, and it's so annoying. I think I need to like lift it and like move the bottom, whatever. Anyways, so if you see me constantly like this, it's because this chair is moving the opposite way. You don't care about that. Anyways, this palette. So this palette is, if you're not familiar with Ensley Cosmetics, they are an indie brand. I have a code with Ensley. It is an affiliated code, and it is KATELYNHOUSE, and it saves 10%. I also will have affiliate links down below. I was not gifted this palette. I did purchase it myself, but I do have an affiliate link and code, just full disclosure. This palette is cruelty-free, 12-month open container. Both the shimmer and matte formulas include both, oh, you know what? Talc is in the shimmer formula, and then mica, but not talc, in the matte, and then I should say mica and talc are in the shimmer. Anyways, so I think that's the gist. It doesn't say where it was made or anything like that, so I don't have that information. That could possibly be on their site, or maybe it was on the box that this came in and I threw it away. But anyways, I'm showing you the palette again because I don't really know what I want to do. I'm sorry, but when I swatch these, I'll put the video up here. When I swatched these, the sparkle that comes through is so insanely beautiful. I am so excited. I'm just so excited to use this. So let's just do it. Oh my gosh, my allergies are killing me. So I'm wearing a yellow shirt that has some pink on it, so I think I'm gonna stick to like the pinks and peachy shades of the mattes. I'm gonna start with this Lunar Beauty LBE 1 brush, and we're gonna go into the shade, I think we're gonna start with Peony, which is the like corally pink at the bottom here. We'll see if this is a little too... No, that should work. I was scared it was going to be a little bit too dark on my skin tone for a crease, but I should be able to blend this out, no problem. So the other palette that I have from Ensley is the Midwinter Dream palette, which was the collab they did with Brittany Huffman. And I absolutely love and adore that palette. The shimmers are great on it. I didn't have any issues really with the mattes. It's just such a fun palette to play with. It's one of my... I think I actually got it. Did I get it at the beginning of this year? I think I did. I think it's in my top 3 palettes for the year. Or top 5 at least, but it's so good. I'm not feeling like super creative this morning, so we're just gonna... we're just probably gonna do a look that's not like the most creative thing you've ever seen, but hopefully it's still pretty. We'll see. Maybe I can amp up the creativity. I'm going to work after this, so I'm not like... You know, I didn't finish that sentence, but do you know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm gonna try something. Might be a little bit crazy, but I'm gonna mix the 2 shades on either side of Peony, so Mayflowers and Rejuvenate, because I don't want it to be super red, but I don't really want it to be super pink either. So I feel like Goldilocks, you know, like neither one's quite right, and something in the middle is gonna be what works for me. So I'm gonna take this Singe Beauty EO2 brush. There is a little bit of kick up in the pan. I tried to go in lightly, but I still had some kick up, so just for those of you that bothers. I don't mind kick up in the pan. I think people usually have issues with it because 1, it's messy, but 2, typically means more fallout, but I do my eyeshadow first, so not a big deal. Ooh, I think that was perfect. do I feel like I'm like, is this filming in one? Yeah, what the hell? And in my, I have a mirror behind my camera so I can see like that I'm in screen, but it seems like everything's like moving faster. I'm gonna be so pissed if this is filmed in a weird way. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna deepen this up more, but I was debating going into Renew to like really deepen it up. I think I'll save that for another look because I kind of just feel like leaving this sort of like peachy right now. Yeah. The end of that sentence. Okay, so now the hard part, deciding which shimmers we want to use. I feel like there's like really straightforward ones, but then I also feel like, should I mix it up and do something more interesting? I don't know. And by the straightforward ones, I mean these three right here. Like that feels like the obvious route to go. But I don't know if I want to be obvious, you know? But like, I also don't want it to look bad, so I'm gonna be obvious. So I have been using the BellaBeauteBar Shimmer Stay Eyeshadow Primer Potion since I did that Smoky Glam video, and I've really liked it. I think it's been good. It worked really well with loose pigments that I used, so that's what I need from that type of product, is to also work with my loose pigments, so I'm a fan. On that note, I'm using it right now with my Sigma E62 brush. I feel like it's gonna work with these more flaky shimmers in this palette as well. Okay, so we're gonna take the shade Bloom, which is the one in the corner here. It just looks really pretty. It's like a pinky yellow green, and it's very flaky. I will show you on my brush. It's not in focus. Let's try this. There we go. You can just see that I'm just picking up flakes of pigment, which again, I don't mind, but I know a lot of people do, so I'm just trying to be helpful. I like having a mix of the like really flaky textures like this and a smoother shimmer just because I want to get, you know, a lot of different options and the kinds of looks I can do. So there we go. That's how that shimmer looks over that Shimmer Stay Potion, and it's so pretty. I don't think I said what brush I was using. It's a ColourPop E18. This is definitely like a peach gold duochrome at the very least. There might be more to it than that, but on the lid, that's the appearance I'm getting. In the pan, I feel like it shifts more multi-chromish. I get more of a green, but I'm not quite seeing that on the lid. I see maybe a hint of it. All right, so now I guess I'm just gonna go into Freesia, this one right here. I'm just gonna keep it moving. Down this line of three, I said I didn't feel that creative. This feels a little bit more smooth compared to Bloom, but I think they're gonna be similar shades. Oh, nope, this one's way more pink on the lid. So never mind, I retract my statement, but this one's smoother. It's not quite as chunky. Okay, we're gonna do one last one. But I think I'm gonna spray this last one with Fix Plus because I don't know that I have the shimmer potion going out quite as far. And I don't want to apply it again because I'm lazy. I'm gonna take this flat shadow brush. This is the Sombra Plana brush from Melt Cosmetics, the number 24 brush. We're going into Pink Moon, that one in the middle of the other two shades we just used. It's kind of in the middle of like texture wise. Like it's a little bit putty, so when you try to like grab it on your brush, you're moving it around, getting some flakes, but it's not as flaky as Bloom. And Bloom was the first shade we used, in case that wasn't clear. Ooh, that is pretty. Maybe I'll mix this up by doing green mattes on the lower lash line. I think that's what, I mean, I don't know. Just to add some interest. I'm not sure. I'll have to think on it while I'm doing the rest of my makeup. All right, I mean, that's basically the gist. I know it doesn't look like, really the star of the show is the shimmers, right? Like, look at those. The look otherwise is kind of boring, but I will think on it and I'll try and figure out a way to make this more interesting. Or I will decide I don't care and I'm giving you one boring, wearable look for this 3 looks video. TBD. Here is the finished look. Let me give you an up-close look. I did use my Pat McGrath Labs in Bridgerton, what is it? Incandescent. I feel like it's Incandescent Gold. It's this shade of highlighter. I put that on the inner corner just to match with my face. And then I also did the shades Meadow, which is that dark green matte, and then this lighter green matte Lush. Those are on the lower lash line because I just felt like I needed something extra. It's still a pretty wearable, easy to go look, or if you needed it more wearable, you could just take those same peachy mattes, put them on the bottom. But one thing I wanted to mention is in this lighting, I couldn't see the like green shift of these shimmer shades up here like I could see in pan, but when I was getting ready in my bathroom, that green shift was definitely prominent. So this is one of those where the studio lighting's not doing it any favors, but in real life you can see those shifts quite a bit. So really like this look so far, except I don't love these lashes. I did the intangible lashes from Unearthly Cosmetics, and I've had them for a while, and I don't remember disliking them this much, but they're kind of like, they feel like spider legs. Like anyways, probably will be the last time that I use them, but this is look number 1. Let's keep it going to look number 2. Look number 2, I was scrolling through like old pictures on my phone, and I saw this eyeshadow shape that I used to do a lot, and I haven't done in a long time, so we are going to do it today. I'm pretty sure Annette from Annette's Makeup Corner does this kind of shape more frequently, and that's probably where I got the idea originally, but today it was old pictures of myself that inspired me. What we're going to do is start with the shade Renew, which is the dark gray in the corner, and I'm going to take an angled liner brush, and we're just going to create a wing with this shade, but like instead of it just being a wing, we're going to like fill it in. You will see what I mean in a second, if that was not a good description. So like that. So it's like creates the wing effect, but it's just all filled in, basically. Okay, I think those are about as close as we're gonna get. So now we're gonna go in with the shimmers, and I have to decide which shimmers I want to do this with. I think we're gonna go into the shade Persephone, which is this pink, purple, blue shade up here. And this is one of those really creamy, like kind of putty-like shades that sort of moves around with your brush, but I was able to pick it up on my brush. So I am going to spray this with Fix Plus. We're going to flip to the other side of that same brush and go into Dahlia, which is the purple shimmer right next to the shade Persephone. This is also one of those more putty-like shades, and when I say that, I mean it's just like when you push your brush into it, the shade sort of moves around. Kind of like putty. Alright, spraying that with Fix Plus as well. That shade is really a pretty purple. It looks darker in the pan than I feel like it's appearing on the eye. Okay, so now I'm going to take a duo fiber like blending brush. This is the Sigma E41, and I'm just going to go along the edges of the shimmer. I want the like matte to stay structured, but I want the shimmers to be kind of like a sparkly explosion, I guess. I do need to go back into my matte to like just create a gradient from the shimmers to the mattes, or to the matte. It's a singular matte. That's the gist of the look. I am pretty happy with it so far. I think I'll end up just probably smoking that matte along the lower lash line. I might use the shade Mayflowers, that pink matte, to just help kind of smudge that out a little bit. And then I'll have to figure out what I want to do on the inner corner, although I'm leaning towards Flower Moon right here. So yeah, I'll come back, show you the finished look, and confirm or deny what I used. Here is the finished look number 2. I did exactly the mattes and inner corner shades that I said I was gonna do. So let me know what you think of this look in the comments. I really like it. I think I get away from doing looks like this because it's really only like, I think what, 4 or 5 shades? And so I feel like I try, and there's not really any blending of the matte, so I think when I do reviews, I tend to try to really test out the blending and just as many shimmers as possible, whereas I feel like this kind of look is like more creative and more aesthetically pleasing to me, but it doesn't do a whole lot as far as like testing the palette goes. But if I'm doing a 3 looks video, I think I can do a look that doesn't necessarily involve blending, because my other look did. You know what I mean? But anyways, let me know what you think of this look, and let's move on to look number 3. Okay, look number 3, and I had this plan to do this look that I used to do, which I think I was inspired by Brittany Kelso. I haven't seen her post in a while, so I don't know if Instagram's just not showing me her stuff anymore or if she's not active, but she would do a cut crease, but like a halo cut crease, and then she'd do like a shimmery liner. That I had every intention of doing that with the greens today because you have so many pretty green options in this palette, but I have an early meeting and I don't really have a ton of time, so we're not doing that. We're gonna do something that is different for me lately, but doesn't take a ton of time. So I'm going to start packing one of the mattes on my lid. I don't know if you all are new here or not new here. If you're new here, sometimes I will do a look and I'll kind of stop at different points and be like, you could stop the look here and then add some more, and then you can stop the look here and like kind of build on it. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So the only matte I haven't tried yet is the shade Budding. So we're going to start there. And we're going to pack that all over my lid. My lids are primed with the About Face Shadow Fix Primer, which has been causing me less issues lately. So if you've been here for my About Face eyeshadow primer journey saga, I think it just needs to dry a little bit, and then that formula is like the sweet spot when it's like a tiny bit dried out. So for those of you that have not been a part of the saga, let me recap it for you. Basically, the About Face primer was my favorite eyeshadow primer. I finished it up, got a new bottle of it or tube of it, whatever you want to call it, and was like, I just noticed more creasing, and I felt like it wasn't doing it wasn't working the way that I had thought it worked before. And I thought maybe they changed their formula or something was different. Like I really couldn't figure out what the issue was. Anyways, I now feel like I know the issue, and it's that it just needs to dry out a little bit. And that's it. The end. Okay, so next I'm gonna go into the shade Lush, which is, I feel like, the lightest green, and that green matches my shirt the best. I don't know about you all, but I love to match my makeup to my clothes. That's usually my inspiration, is what color clothes I'm wearing. So I'm gonna take, I don't think I told you which brush I was using before. It's an Exact blend brush from Sigma. It's an E32, and now we're gonna go into a Pro Crease number 19 brush from Sephora. I love the Sephora brushes. I think they're so good, and they last me so long. So one time my husband and I went to Disneyland. I think it was for my 21st birthday. So 9 years, no, was it my 21st? It might have been before that. I don't remember. It was over 10 years ago, so it wasn't my 21st. It was something else. But anyways, we went to Disneyland, and I forgot a blush brush, and I was like, I can't do my makeup without a blush brush. I have a bronzer brush, I have this, like I need a blush brush. So we had gone to the Sephora like near Disney when we were there the first day, and my husband bought me a blush brush because he was my boyfriend at the time. We were in like high school or college, but so he bought me a blush brush from Sephora. I still have it. It's a little worse for wear now. I remember it was a little bit after the 10-year mark that I noticed it started struggling, but I still use it sometimes. It's just not my favorite blush brush anymore because it's struggling. So I bought a new blush brush from Sephora, and that one is amazing. So anyways, the Sephora brushes, don't sleep on them. They're expensive, but they're good. Okay, this is a Melt Beetlejuice like fluffy blending brush, and I'm just softening the edges of that green shade just because I'm pale and I need to soften that blend a little bit more. It's a little bit of a grungier green than my shirt, but that's okay. I'm struggling today. You can't see it. It's so funny. I can see it in my mirror that's like reflecting what's on my phone, but you can't see my bun, but my bun is a struggle today too. So it's hilarious to me that my bun's literally cut off. Okay. All right. So this is stage one. You could cut this off here. You could just have like a green smoky moment. That's not what we're going to do. I was going to just do shimmery liner, but now I kind of just want to put shimmers all over my eyes. The shimmers are really pretty. Let's do the shimmery liner first. When I do eyeliner with a shadow, I always like to do an angled brush like this. That's kind of like an eyebrow brush. This one's called an angled liner brush, so it is meant for liner, but these are my favorite brushes to do liner with. So then, because this is darker, I need something that's gonna show up, but I also have a vision for the shimmer. So I'm gonna go with one of the darker shimmers that I feel like will actually stand out. So I think we're gonna go with Bliss. Although that one's really chunky. I changed my mind. We're gonna go with Forsythia. This one looks like a smoother formula. Well, it's just not like as chunky of a formula. But I wouldn't say this one's smooth either. Ooh, yeah. There's something about a glitter wing. I haven't done this in so long. I used to love doing these kinds of looks. Clean up the underneath. It's kind of a funky shape, but do you see? So this is where you could stop it too. You could just do this with the shimmery liner. Call it a day. We're not going to, but we could. And I just want to acknowledge how amazing this shimmer is because I did not put a tacky, like a glitter primer or anything down. Sometimes I'll do that if I'm using like a really chunky shade. I'll put like a glitter primer down as the liner first and then put the shimmer over it. This time I did not do that. This is just dry. I didn't even wet my brush with Fix Plus. Like, this is just dry on the lid, and that is incredible. So now we're just gonna play it up. So like I said, you could stop right here, clean this up, just run those same mattes along the lower lash line, and then that's your look. We're gonna spice it up more. I'm gonna take this, oh, I don't think I said where this last brush was from. It's a Real Techniques 056 angled liner brush. Now I'm gonna take this brush, is from Seppin brushes, I think, but it's a kind of inner corner brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade, where is it? Primrose, that lime green right there. That one really matches my shirt. Again, I'm not spraying Fix Plus or anything here. We're just going in. If you like green eyeshadow, I think you'd really like this palette. Okay, so what I want to do that's a little bit different is take this up higher than just my inner corner. And I want to kind of bring that into the crease a little bit. When I look up, there's kind of like the pop of the green. So again, you could leave it here, but there's more. We're gonna add more. So we are going to use this E55 eye shading brush from Sigma, and I think we're gonna go into Awakening. These two shades right here are kind of like green brown duochromes. This one has more of like a, I shouldn't say brown, this is like a green pink duochrome. This is like a green brown duochrome. But anyways, we're going into Awakening like that. I think I'm gonna put it all the way across. And I like this brush. I didn't spray any of these with Fix Plus, just to clarify, but I like this brush because it's a little bit fluffier than most flat eyeshadow brushes, so it distributes this, it doesn't like it as intensely pack it on, which is what I was going for. So I might be moving into my almost all shimmery look era. Not that I didn't like shimmers before, but I definitely felt like I use more of a matte, more mattes in a look than shimmers. But here we only use 2 mattes and we've used 1, 2, 3 shimmers. Okay, anyways, that's basically the look. I'm probably gonna do the same mattes on the lower lash line, or maybe I'll get crazy and add shimmers to the lower lash line. I don't know, but I will show you the finished look. Okay, here is the finished look. And then I had these fun earrings that match in person the shirt really well, and then also I have blue pants on, but anyways, it looks a little bit different on camera. But yeah, here we go, finished look. Let me know what you think. So 1, in the comments, let me know which of the 3 looks was your favorite down below. 2, let's talk about my thoughts on this palette. I have used, I have used all but 5 shades, and this is a 21 shade palette. So what are we missing there? Math. Anyways, 16. I've used 16 of the shades. Okay. And you know, to be honest, the last 2 looks I did, I was very intentional in not using as many shades as possible. Although I did go shimmer heavy, which you kind of have to with this palette. So I don't know, it might just be like a very shimmer heavy palette and you gotta use do a lot of look to get to use every shade. But anyways, that being said, of the shades I've used, are some formulas that are that more putty formula. You can kind of see them here. Persephone, Sapling, Awakening. I don't know if you can see it, but they have more of a dip to them just from swatching because you push the shade around. It's very creamy, very emollient. Flower Moon, Freesia, Primrose are all more of like a smoother shimmer texture, but still very bright, very shiny. And then like Bloom, Dahlia, Bliss, I haven't used that shade, but Bliss and Refresh are also like the very chunky shimmers. Pink Moon might be kind of like a mix of like a putty and smoother shimmer. It's sort of like an in-between formula. They have a couple of those as well. So yeah, I think you have quite a few different shimmer textures in this palette. The mattes all worked nicely. I do feel like these three greens are a tiny bit too similar, especially these two here. I would have really liked to have seen a different shade. I don't know, either like maybe like a cream white shade, or I don't know, just something to give us like a little bit more variation, or the option to create more variation in the palette. So even if it was like a creamy shadow or like a black, I don't know that black fits in with this palette. You have Renew here, but maybe we could have made Renew a little bit darker so that you could have done that. Anyways, I just would have appreciated more variety in the mattes. I also will say these green shimmers, like Bliss and Forsythia, are pretty similar. I think you really only needed one of those. Otherwise, I would say I know these three kind of look similar up at the top. Well, not how you're seeing them, how I'm seeing them, but they are different. So I feel like it's just these two. There's a slight different undertone to them, and they do have a slightly different texture, but they are super similar. And then when you have that many greens, it just feels more redundant. But I will say I can see differences in all of them. So I don't know. I think I'm just being nitpicky on that, but I just want to share like my perception of the palette. But like I said, every shade is different. There's nothing that's like a true dupe, other than there's nothing that's a true dupe. There's just two shades, those two green mattes and those two green shimmers, that I feel like are so similar that I don't know if we really needed both of those in the palette. But otherwise, I really like this palette. I like all the looks I created. Their shimmer formula, and by they I mean Ensley Rain's shimmer formula, is so good. It's so good. Their mattes are really nice, but the shimmers really take the show. When like I get minimal creasing when I wear these looks all day, so I'm a big fan of their formula. I do have an affiliate code with them, and I don't know if I've already mentioned it in this video, but just in case I haven't, it is KATELYNHOUSE, and it saves 10%. We'll also have an affiliate link for the palette in the description box down below. If you do decide to pick up this palette, I would really appreciate it if you used my affiliate link. It helps my channel out a lot so that I can pick up, you know, more new things to try out for you guys. So anyways, like I said, let me know what you think of the looks in the description, or in the description box, in the comments down below. Also let me know if you planned on picking this palette up, or if you already picked it up, or if you want to pick it up. I would be curious to hear that. But that is it from me, and I will see you all next time. Bye.